They got me, Tarte had me hooked, lined, and sinkered with this launch, okay? This is the Tarte ManEater After Dark palette, and when I tell you, this is the first palette that I have seen from Tarte in years that I was like, instantly, I gotta get that, I gotta try that, oh baby, oh baby. It is stunning. It is the perfect color story for fall and bringing on the season, and I am just so here for this. Honestly, in the past, Tarte formula has kind of disappointed me. I honestly swore off the brand way back in the day before they were like really big, and I tried out an eyeshadow palette from them and I'm like, I'm never trying them again. And then like 10 years later I rediscovered them and I'm like, oh, they have so many good things. Also, makeup has come a long way then. But other than that, I've had two palettes from Tarte that I've really enjoyed, and that was this one. That was a fun one. What was this even called? High Tides and Good Vibes. It was just different and unique. And then also one of their holiday palettes was such a good palette. I wish they would redo something like this again. This was a few years ago and I can't let it go. It has so many interesting formulas in there that I'm just like, come on Tarte, let's get to it. But this is supposed to be some kind of holiday palette from Tarte. There are a couple different formulas in here, not exactly like that holiday one I just mentioned. So we're gonna dive into it, but before we do, just really quickly, my name is ashleyellix if you do not know me, and feel free to subscribe if you want to see more makeup videos from me. If you like what you see here, go ahead and tap that little button. And then to my returners, hey, how's it going? How you doing? Thanks so much for coming back and watching this video. And without further ado, let's jump into it. Boo, boo. Before we start playing with these shadows right on my lids, let's talk details and specifications real quick. This palette is currently available at Ulta online and in stores, and it retails for $52. Has a total of 24 shadows, 11 of which are matte, 9 shimmers, and 4 sheens. Let's take a look at this packaging because it is so sleek and gorgeous. It has that beautiful matte bottom with the leopards being a nice shiny print on there, and it's a little bit raised up. It is so pretty, and you'll see it's a very thin palette, so it's going to be great for storage, for travel if you want to travel with a palette with this many pans. It is just very sleek. It feels luxurious. It has a very good weight to it, and it definitely feels better than like a Makeup Revolution palette. I know there are lots of comparisons out there of the layout of the shadow pans. They do look like Makeup Revolution, but they're also very simple. Like I mean, it's hard not to look like that, I think. But I don't really care how the layout looks like that if the product performs better, because I know Makeup Revolution does not have the best reputation when it comes to shadows. Tarte's kind of hit or miss too, but hopefully with a $50 price point, this will be a much better formula than Makeup Revolution. Because I was looking at some of those palettes, so Makeup Revolution actually has a leopard palette, so that I found very interesting. It's like, did they take inspiration? Is it just like happenstance that they are creating a palette with the leopard and everything, and they also have even the little imprints? I don't know about that, but I will say I have much higher expectations for this Tarte one than the Makeup Revolution, and I just think that it, just off of pictures, this one just looks more stunning and richer, but hopefully it actually is. So these are the first two rows swatched out for you, and I've got to say that matte formula feels really soft, really buttery, not as powdery as some of the other Tarte formulas I've tried, and then these metallic shimmers, whatever you want to call them, are so rich. Here's the second half, those last two rows, and again, really gorgeous. This one right here is the only one that I would kind of consider more of a sheen topper. It's very light, and I think that it'd be nice and versatile and add it to any kind of shade to kind of transform it. Okay, so I have to do stuff today, but I think I'm gonna do two different looks because I gotta see how this goes. And you know what, I'm gonna take one for the team, and I have a Zoom meeting with a brand later, but I'm just gonna say, hey, this is what's going on. I had to try out some new stuff. So I'm gonna start with the shade I think I need. Here's the thing, there's no like transition shade for this moody shade, but I really want to try that because that one gave me the most trouble swatching, so I want to put it to the test. I think I will try doing Enamored as a little bit of a transition to kind of lighten it up a little bit. But before I do that, I need to prime my eyes. I almost forgot. Oh my goodness. I'm going to use the ABH eye primer, which I am getting low on this finally. It's taken a long time. Just lay down the primer, and you know what? I'm going to use this little base shade up here called Playful. It's been a while since I actually had a palette with a base shade in it, and I'm kind of excited to have that again. I'm just going to put that underneath the brow. Okay, now I'm going in with that Enamored shade just on this side. And then going in with, what is this called again? Moody. I'm gonna focus this more on the outer corners to blend. So starting right in the crease with this little pointed blending brush, When I swatched it, I noticed it just wasn't as pigmented. I had to layer it a little bit. It still came out nice, but that's why I wanted to play with it, to make sure that it sticks good to the eyelids. Yeah, so far so good. Let's bring it up a little bit to blend it. And grab a flat blending brush. You're getting a lot of kickback in this palette so far too. Doesn't bother me, but I just want to make note of that for anybody that bugs. Okay, that's blending pretty good. Let me see if I can layer it up to deepen it a little bit right on the crease. Yeah, it's deepening. The way I need to clean my makeup brushes, you guys, oh my gosh. It's embarrassing, but I'm gonna take this little flat packing brush, same shade, and I'm just gonna put it on the mobile lid on the outer corner. Yeah, see, you're getting pigment. Okay, good, good, good. So it's blending nicely where you can start with a light hand and blend, and it still packs on good. Had me worried there for a sec, but just about that one shade, honestly. That was the only one that I thought would be a red flag. This is looking really pretty. Now I have so many options. I kind of want to take the green one though. There's a Fantasy, because I gotta use it. It just looks like the perfect, I know I'm jumping ahead of fall here, but perfect like holiday season shade. It is so creamy to feel. I'm gonna use my fingers because that's just how I prefer using metallics. Oh, look at that. That's gonna be a holiday sensation. Oh, this actually might be good if you wanted to do a cut crease. I should have done that. Like a carved out cut crease and using a slightly dampened brush to apply. I think this would look really nice with that. Okay, I was just taking this Nocturnal shade on the side and I'm just adding it right here because it has a bit of a sheen and a bit of darkness, so it's working really good on the outer corner. But everything in me wishes I did a cut crease for the green because I think it would pop so much more. Let me see if I could remove a little bit and then like do that because it's driving me crazy. Now I'm going to take some setting spray and spray this little flat, very synthetic-y, plasticky style brush and dip back into the green Fantasy shade. It's coming off nicely. And let's pack it on. Oh yeah, it just pops a little bit more since it's not competing with that plum shade that probably had some fallout on it. I think with a brown shade going with your fingers, no problem, but this now, it looks more purposeful. And now I'm going to go in with this little bitty Sigma brush. It's the E36. Dip back into Moody and just deepen up. I might actually go with the black, but let's try deepening up that line right there. Yeah, that's going good. Let's try dipping into the black to just add a little bit of depth right at the base of that line. When all the lashes and everything are on, it'll all come together, I promise. But let's go with my little pinky into On the Prowl. That's going to be my inner corner shade. Pop it right in. That was more of that topper. Yeah, okay. A little bit of fallout too with that palette, but I figured that would probably happen. Let's move on to the other side in the meantime. So this side I want to be more pumpkin-y, more fall. I jumped ahead of myself with the holiday vibes. So let's go in with Desire, which is that yellow shade. And let's put that on the inner corner. Oh, that's what I like to see right there. A yellow that has good pigment to it. Make sure that's blended out. And then right on top of that shade is this orange 70s couch shade that I just love. Let me put that in the outer crease. And before I move on, let me do the same shades on the lower lash line. Okay, this side is already going so much better. I can just tell I enjoy the formula of those shadows a little bit better, a little bit more effortless, not having to build up so much. But let me take that, why do I keep turning? Let me take that same shade and put it on the outer corner. I think I want to take Heated because it's kind of an orange yellow. I think those will go nicely together. Let's try. Hopefully I don't regret not doing cut crease on this side, or should I? No, I want them to just be blown out. Oh, that's so pretty. No, I'm totally happy with doing it just like that. Because what I like to do when I use my finger with these, oh, it's like a fiery pumpkin. Pumpkins on fire shade. And I look So let me I kind of tap it a little bit, and then that way I don't have like a harsh line. It's more blown out. That is so pretty. And then I want to take Wild at Heart as my inner corner. Let's see if that works as a topper. I don't remember which shades are supposed to be what. Just going off of swatches, they were very pigmented. That shade, I'm loving. That heated shade, that shimmer, I just like can't help but add more and more and more because I'm really hoping it's coming across how stunning it is in person. It's like an electric fire shimmer shade. Let me go do liner lashes, really inspect everything. I'm already seeing a lot of fading with this plum one though, and even the green, it just doesn't have that intensity that it did right when I applied it. So I don't love that, but this side is just amazing, and almost everything else is just like those brown and warm tones. So let me wrap up my thoughts in a second. Let me go apply everything else. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is what the two eye looks are looking like without false lashes applied, because I know not everybody wears those. And here's what the eye looks like with lashes. I am laughing because, okay, well, let me just let you look at it for a second. Okay, the fiery side, a holiday side. I'm laughing because I just almost threw this lash glue like across the room. It is so bad. Please stay away from it. I just got it in PR. It's from the Kiss brand, Lash Couture Super Flex Strip Adhesive Lashes. This is what the box looks like. Stay away from that. It like wouldn't stick, and then 5 minutes later, it went bloop, like I just took it off because I could feel like it's coming off. So I went back to my Tarte lash glue. That one's way better. Anyways, let's talk about this eyeshadow palette. So starting with this side, obviously that was the side that was a little bit more tricky for me just because of that plum shade, honestly. So while I was doing the rest of my makeup and really thinking about everything, it's just gonna be one that you have to like really layer and pay attention to, or else it can kind of get patchy on you. But that's the only one that I'm like actually worried about, but I know how to like use that, and hopefully that helps you with that. Then the green shade, what I realized, I think that's what the one that they mean is sheen. So like any of those ones that don't have the leopard, maybe, I don't know if that's accurate, but that green one, it's more, because it kind of lost almost all of its metallic intensity once it set down on my eyelids. It's more of one of those shades that honestly, it's not my favorite style shadow. It's a matte with a sheen on it. So not a topper. I don't think that there's toppers in here, so my mistake. I think what they mean is that's what those matte sheen shades are, which I literally, I don't like them because they apply so beautifully and then they dry once the oils evaporate, the water evaporates from applying with the brush, wet brush, or your fingers, and then it's just kind of like a little dull, a little bit dull. Like you see a little bit of a sheen, but it's kind of like, that's almost like it looks like a cheap shadow. So I don't love that shade. I just wish it had a little bit more oomph to it. I wish that they just did a green metallic, honestly, because I think that would have looked so beautiful. But this side, oh, see, like now, once you have a bad lash moment, like you just will keep having them. So now it's like fighting probably with the other glue. So that one was lifting a little bit. But anyways, this side, I'm obsessed with everything about it. I have no notes. It is just beautiful. And I honestly feel like that's how the rest of the palette's gonna be, because where am I putting it? Because when I was swatching, that's how it performed. Like these ones, that purple shade was the one with the red flag. And then the green, it's just once you like wear it, then it's like, so you might do it right away and you're like, ooh, beautiful. And then you're like, oh, well, where'd it go? So I'm loving it for the most part. Couple caveats, but is it better than a lot of the other palettes that I tried from Tarte? Yes. And it's nice to finally see, like, I loved the color story of the Bloom palettes or whatever, but they like did it 3 times in a row and it was so confusing and so overwhelming that I'm just like, it's all the same palette, just different sizes. I don't understand. They do a lot of like pinks and plum neutrals, or just like completely neutral color stories. It was nice to see like such a beautiful fall warm tone, actual different palette from Tarte. This was the most unique thing that I've seen from them, is an eyeshadow palette for so long, which is so funny because it's not unique to like other brands. I definitely think you could probably dupe it out. Check out some of the other videos that you see with this palette, because I saw a bunch popping up throughout the day that I'm like, okay, I gotta go film this. All those other people like Jen Phelps, she always does swatch comparisons to the palettes that she has. I don't have time today, so go check out her, and then any of the other, I think it was like Steph's Beauty Corner or something I saw, where she's doing like a bunch of looks, 4 looks. So go check that out, see if you like it. Let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. But this This is gonna be a palette for fall for me, I'm predicting. I am predicting, so let's see where it takes us. Make sure you subscribe to me if you want some future beauty videos, and then also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at ashleyellix so for some like more quick, fun, silly content. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!